I just like tuned out.
Yeah.
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 Found a
kind
few.
of,
Some of them I left blank. But we are live. Welcome back.
Hey.
Welcome back to the channel. Stay gold. Got Matt, Alex, Joe, Noah back at it with a new dive.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New dive after months of Linklater.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Got a new guy.
not that I hated Linklater, but it just felt like our longest dive. Longer than the
Wow.
Coens for me, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty close.
Yeah.
Although Malik did feel really long in a different way.
Definitely. It was draining. Yeah, it was more
I
draining.
feel like
Yeah.
every time
Yeah.
I told my girlfriend that we're like still on Linklater, that she was just like, how many
Yeah.
movies does this fucking guy have? Like,
Yeah.
Honestly, I
Too
felt
many.
that way after watching Apollo. I'm like, I can't believe we're still doing Linklater's movies. Like, I mean, I'm glad we're done, but
Yeah, we got
glad we got through them. But
moving
Flex
on
the
to
power
a
a little bit
less demanding filmmaker. What's he got, like 10 maybe? 10,
yeah,
11?
if
Like
that.
that.
Yeah.
Now we might have 10 with Dune too.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Two-parter at the end. We'll get to that.
Okay.
But we gotta trudge through the early stuff when on these dives. So gotta start
As
from
always,
the beginning. Yeah. So tonight we got Maelstrom and Polytechnique. This dive is probably gonna be just terrible pronunciation on my end, but I don't know about you guys.
Because I don't know if that's how you say it either. I'm
Yeah.
like,
I think you say Denis Villeneuve. I think.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that's correct. Well, at least the
Yes.
first name. I don't know about the last name.
Yeah, I thought it was Denis Villeneuve. I could be
Villeneuve.
wrong.
You might be right.
Denis
Yeah,
Villeneuve.
It might be, yeah.
could be wrong. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
I mean, I called him Villeneuve for the longest time. I feel like.
Yeah.
It's like,
He's
oh,
got a
he's
lot of different
French.
names. There's a lot of different hats. But yeah, getting into his movies, we got the dry guy himself, Denis. Maybe sterile. He may be actually sterile himself too. That's what I hear at least. But
Really?
yeah.
Is that?
No, I'm just joking.
Is
but
that?
Blessing or
oh,
Wait,
curse.
why did you call him the dry guy? That just went right
he's
over my head.
just I
Yeah.
don't know, man. These films, they're just kind of cut and dry, and you
Oh,
get
yeah,
what
yeah.
Straight
he
to the
gives
point.
you,
I definitely
and
get
yeah.
that. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point.
At least the start too. I'm excited for later down the road because I have seen most of his films, and there's a couple I got to check off here. But
Dude,
I
I
haven't seen these
actually
two.
haven't, but I'm
I'm
pretty
excited for you guys
Nice.
to watch Sicario again because
Yeah.
after my rewatch, I watched it twice this past year, and it impressed me a lot more this watch through.
Yeah,
So-
like I haven't seen that or Prisoners or Arrival or
Ooh,
Blade Runner
Prisoners?
2049.
Damn,
So
dude,
like
yeah,
I'm gonna
you're
knock
gonna
out
get
a
'em.
bunch here.
Yeah, hell
So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I might
Excited.
watch Blade Runner next week. So
I fucking love Blade Runner.
Have you
2049.
seen?
I don't
Have you
like
seen the
I
old
don't like
one?
the first one.
I mean I might watch the
The
old
original.
one next week. Yeah,
I didn't care for that
get
one.
ready.
Hit or
It's out
miss.
there.
Yeah,
Weird.
but
2049 though, fuck yeah, game
yeah,
changer. in
I'm
the
really
theater.
excited to rewatch that one too. So I've only seen that one once, Sicario once. A lot of these just one-time watches, so it'll be
Same,
nice.
Hell yeah.
But before we get to the good shit that we know is down the road, gotta get through these couple here that I hadn't seen. I don't think anybody here had seen, right? These two.
Oh yeah, I'd seen this before.
These are some of your favorite movies, right? That's what you keep saying?
Yeah, dude.
Casually popped on
Yeah.
Maelstrom.
Yeah.
It's in the Maelstrom mood.
I don't speak French normally. Like,
Yeah. He doesn't even put subtitles on. He just likes to listen to it.
Just has it on in background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
When he has
about the
friends over,
energy.
it's like, yeah, I'm cultured. Yeah, we watch French films around here.
What if, like,
No
You don't
I mean,
understand this?
realistically, the earliest I knew any of you was like high school. What if I had just like been like, yeah, I lived in Canada until I was like 10 years old, and I'm actually Canadian.
Yeah, be like,
I'm
oh,
actually from Quebec. Yeah.
yeah. Lost the accent though.
Oh.
You're pretty successful.
But anyway,
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, for not having seen a lot of his movies, I feel like one good thing these did was like solidify what I feel like his vibe is, or like
Yeah.
you know, his tone usually.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The first one, it felt kind of weird how like I think it was classified as a comedy, like halfway.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if it was just like that. Like, I'm watching it in French, so like subbed. Like, I don't know if I just like didn't get some inflection in some stuff.
It just didn't
It's like
translate.
I don't know. I
Culture
know it's
thing.
like sometimes for comedy, it's like how you say it, not like what you say. You know. So like, but I didn't personally
Right.
The
find it
delivery.
funny.
Nah, I
No.
don't think I laughed once or chuckled once. I don't
Yeah.
think.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm stupid or something. I did not understand what was happening through most of this movie. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
get the general idea, I think, but overall, I was
Yeah.
just kind of like, "What the fuck?"
I'm
Like,
pretty sure this is
messy.
what I got because I'm also. It's kind of unclear. I got she basically. Well, I don't know. The whole thing at the beginning about how she owed them $200,000 or something like that. What the was that for a business loan?
I would assume.
she's like,
Yeah, I guess.
she's like a nepo baby, but then like, where
Mhm.
is she losing that money from? Investments?
Oh, maybe it's like
Hmm.
drugs and shit. I don't know because she was like partying like
I guess
most
she's
of the
partying.
time.
Yeah.
But I guess like what I got, she hit
Going
this
up the
dude,
nose.
killed him basically. That was
Yeah.
the dad of the dude that she started seeing, and then
Right.
she like told him, and then he was basically cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Which
mean, I
is
tracked that
strange,
too for the
but-
most part.
And
I
then they
think.
just sprinkled his ashes in the fucking.
Yeah.
I
But
guess
also, how would a fish be telling the story?
that's
Yeah.
what
How did the fish
threw
know?
me off.
It's a fish.
That's just a
like, I
total
assumed it
like
was
style
a fish
choice.
story.
Fish, they
Yeah.
travel in schools. They know each other. Word
You're right.
of mouth, word of gill,
Mhm.
as one might say.
Schools knowledge.
I've seen
Maybe
Finding Nemo.
Take it
How
right,
fast
right.
word spreads.
Yeah.
No, that's a
During
wild
fish.
choice, man. I mean, did it not work for any of you, honestly? Like, what did you
no,
think
it
of the
didn't make
fish?
The
any
fish?
fucking sense.
Yeah,
No, it was just strange.
it was very weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
It's cool. It's like it's edgy in a way, you know.
Was the
And
guy chopping
Yeah.
up the fish naked? Was that?
Oh yeah.
maybe
I
just
think
I don't know
shirtless.
what his deal
Yeah.
was either.
Okay.
Bare chest.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But why is it? That's also multiple fish, right?
I know. What?
That
Yeah.
doesn't really make sense. It's like an
Like,
eternal
throughout.
fish that just keeps.
Well, like Noah said,
telling you the
they
story.
travel in schools, so they all knew this story.
It's a whole
That's
school
what they
of
were
fish.
just passing along. The
Uh,
next one continued on after. Yeah.
okay.
I will say, like, you can tell he was like maybe trying too hard with like his shots because I feel like every shot was like either like skewed or was like not really in focus or like in frame.
Yeah.
Like there was shit on the
Wobbly.
fucking borders or something. Like it was fucking weird. Like it was hard to tell like what was going on basically because like every shot had to be like kind of fucking weird, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel that.
Definitely
Like-
felt the 10-year or 9-year break he took between this and the next one. Like it feels
Yeah.
like he came back
Sure.
actually ready to make
Solidified
solid
some
film.
techniques or some stuff. Yeah.
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 Polytechniques.
Hey.
Polytechnics, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
wrote-
in Polytechnique, it's like the cinematography is like
It's up.
way
pretty good,
better.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
much
It's a
better.
step up for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I felt this was like edgy in like a 28-year-old way. I don't know how old he was when he made this movie, but it's like,
Well,
I don't
let's look.
yeah, it's not like completely childish because there's like meat and like themes going on in this movie that are like you can tell what he's trying to go for.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was like
Very-
30.
He's already in his
Like
30s.
30? 29, 30?
Yeah, still young, but I
About
don't know.
that
It just was
age.
like it kind of felt like simplistic and like needlessly dark in a way. That's like I'm really gonna give you this message, and you're gonna fucking you're gonna
Yeah.
listen.
Opening up
Yeah.
with an abortion was just like set the tone where you're just like, oh, so he's gonna be edgy. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It didn't
That
really
was kinda
change.
like
it's like a shocking
irrelevant,
opening.
too. Like, that
Well,
really
it-
didn't.
She's like dealing with like a depression after, which is like
Right.
kind of what
I guess
the
that's true.
gist of the movie is for at least the first half, and then it kind of switches. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because like it's,
There
it
was
sets
also
it up.
like
Oh,
the
good,
like old
good.
school, like almost like silent film shit. How it would just like have a bunch of words on screen that like narrated, except like you
Yeah.
only have narration from the fish. So it was like,
Nosferatu
why do you need
vibes.
like two
yeah,
Mhm.
forms of
much.
narration?
too much. Yeah,
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah,
do
it was
it.
weird. It's kind of out of nowhere.
Well, like because I remember that specifically because like she got in the shower and then that narration had to explain like how she was feeling
How she was
instead
thinking
of, like,
in the shower.
actually
Yeah,
like,
it's like just
having
show
us
me.
see like how she's feeling, you know?
Yeah, that was my nitpick. I was like, I did not need that at all. Like, I don't know. It was like it's just like
I
trying to
agree.
flex that he had watched an old movie and knows like what that function is or something. You know, like I don't know.
I'm a film student.
Yeah, I've watched Nosferatu. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can be.
Have you
I
seen
actually
the
did.
classic?
I actually did get tickets for like opening night of Nosferatu.
Hell
They're at,
yeah,
like
Fuck
10
dude.
yeah.
p.m. on
I'll be there.
Christmas.
Is it Christmas? What day is it?
Yeah, it comes out on Christmas.
Christmas
Yeah.
Day,
Damn.
dude. Feel the
Yeah.
darkness.
When I got him like 2 days ago, and like the 10 p.m. show, it was basically already like completely sold out.
That's
Fuck
crazy.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
Awesome.
Oh, I kind of expect that
exciting.
movie to not do well, but I hope it does pretty well. That'd be cool.
I like
excited for
your
it.
interior Johnson.
Why do you think it
Yeah.
wouldn't do well? Just because it's like A24, Robert
It's-
Eggers. And
Yeah, it's pretty
artsy,
low
that's-
key. I feel like
Yeah.
to me, I'm kind of like conflating it with the Last Voyage of Demeter. That came out last year, and nobody gave two shits
Yeah.
about that
Yeah.
movie. Like,
I
That's a
get
good
that.
point.
Yeah.
But I feel like the fact that it's like Robert Eggers, like, I feel
there's
like
more of a
that's
draw
okay.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
do people
like,
know that
definitely is.
enough?
I feel like this movie, and it has like big name actors, and so I mean, like, well,
Right.
so, but I feel like I've seen trailers for that, like, in a lot
Oh, wow.
of different movies.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
I
hopefully
don't know.
it excites
I feel
other
like
people
Getting out there.
yeah.
outside
Just
of like the
hear
deep
that it's
fandom.
out on Christmas. That feels like a bit
It's
strange.
kind of weird.
A
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll.
I was gonna
don't know.
go regardless, whether
Yeah.
it was like back home or like when I got back here. So,
Same. Yeah. Final note I had before we move into some categories, which I think the categories will probably be a little slim for these two movies.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just made a note that this is like a period of filmmaking where maybe more like Polytechnique and some other short films I watched by him. He's clearly Villeneuve is inspired by Nolan a lot. And then
I
he's
can
in
see that.
it's like
Mhm.
Nolan, Villeneuve, and then to me, Yorgos Lanthimos is like heavily inspired by these Villeneuve movies. But
Yeah.
because I
I see
felt
that.
like complete Lanthimos energy of like just embrace the darkness, like get in there heavy and like get into that fucked up
Yeah.
shit, you know, and like
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
so
Lanthimos.
you know Yorgos, you seen like Poor
Sorry.
Things and shit,
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, yeah.
like killing of a sacred deer, like that's the vibe here,
Fuck
Right.
yeah.
you know, like
Right.
Those are much better. No,
100%.
mind you. But
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those delve into being so dark they get a little funny. And
yeah, those can like toe
the
the
humor
line
in
nicely.
those, yeah,
Those
is
work a little
much
bit
more
more.
apparent. This
Yeah.
being a comedy, I would never pin this as a comedy.
no
No.
way. No
Ever.
shot.
I just hadn't figured out how to like bring it up in tone or something. Yeah.
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 But just cool to see the evolution of filmmakers, you know, as we dive more into different periods and different
Yeah.
inspirations.
I mean, Arrival and Blade Runner have like crazy cinematic styles. You know, like he definitely upgrades
ups it,
throughout.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Dude, everything in
I'm
this
excited
movie
for
was
those.
like super dark. And I hadn't seen either of those movies, like Arrival or Blade Runner 2049. But I have heard that like Blade Runner 2049, like especially like cinematically, it's like how it looks is just like so fucking cool.
A lot of colors.
And like I
Oh,
don't know,
yeah.
I guess I could like see elements like where that came from out of this movie. Just like sometimes 'cause it's like super dark, and he's just like I don't know, trying to make it look
Yeah, it's-
cool somehow. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
how to describe it. It's just like I could see,
Polytechnique
like,
is
how
gonna
people,
be
got that.
Polytechnique's gonna be like the metaphor for his whole, gallery of works where it starts black and white and then it shifts into color. It gets
yeah.
cinematography's there.
Yeah. It's like the Wizard of Oz in this bitch. Everything
Yeah.
changes. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's
Yeah,
get
red
through some
heels.
categories for Maelstrom. What you guys got for some of these?
Yeah.
Did you guys pull a theme from this one, Alex? It seems like you struggle with this one, which is understandable.
Yeah, I guess my theme that I would have, the only thing I could think of, like this is one of the only categories I would consider easy to fill for this movie was I felt like it was just like your actions have consequences,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
But like,
yeah,
do they?
it's pretty straightforward. That's the thing. By the end, it's kind of like
'Cause they didn't really have consequences.
right, but like I guess like it's starting off with the abortion, and then she spirals into the depression and all this stuff, and she's like dealing with that. That was kind of like the cause and effect of the first domino to fall. I don't know.
Mhm.
That's all
Yeah.
I got for this.
Well, off that, that's
category.
kind of what I got, because I think there's a line. It's probably in the narration or some shit, but it's like if you take life, then you can lose
Yeah.
your life or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, that seems to be what the idea is here. And maybe if
Take
not
a life, lose
physically,
a life, something.
you're gonna emotionally
Right.
lose something in your life, or
Yeah.
like. So I understood it. Whether I was like down for it the whole time, it's different. But
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
other? You guys
I don't
pull
know.
anything else out of this one?
I put down people make mistakes, which is basically the same thing.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's solid.
And a lot of like
Pretty good.
getting over it and forgiving yourself and other people and whatnot.
Yeah. There's that line that her friend says where it's like, guilt is useless. Like, you don't need to hang on to it. But by the end, it was kind of useful, right? Because they got together. And, I don't know. It was like stuff. I don't know. Stuff wasn't really connecting for me, theme wise with it. So
There is like
I
a
didn't have
weird
it.
guiltiness though, something there about like with the lover, the dude, like he likes her, but
Right.
he's like, I don't know, and she's guilty about killing her dad, and
Yeah.
that's weird, but
Guilt
kind of
is
get that.
throughout is fraud. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just
Kind of an
confusing for me.
interesting kink, though. Yeah.
Hey, I'd love it if some bitch poured ashes on me in bed and be like, "Oh, is that we're getting started?
we're going
Okay."
there.
Jesus.
All right.
Yeah,
wait
nerdy
till
of it.
I'm probably out at that point.
Yeah, I'm out dog.
I'd be just like, whose fucking ashes are these? Am I
Yeah,
gonna go
right.
to prison? Like,
Does it matter? Like, yeah.
I guess at that point, I don't really. Yeah, can they identify a person from their ashes? Like, because probably not. Like,
probably a lot of different people's ashes if that chick's into that shit, and you're probably next, honestly.
Right.
You're about to be added to the box.
probably gonna be ashes on the next dude. Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna be added to the mix.
Oh God.
Do you guys have a favorite shot in this one? I had one that
No.
I actually pulled. Well, first off, the fish getting its head chopped is just a shocking image.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think that whole scene where you see the back of the dude chopping the fish was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Again, strange, but
Weird as fuck.
kind of cool.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, what the fuck? Where the fuck was that guy?
Was Villeneuve doing some coke back in his younger
Yeah.
years? Like he was
Where
just like,
was that guy? Why was he chopping fish up on a dirty table in a dirty cave? Why was he shirtless?
I guess
Maybe
like that. There is one funny moment that I picked up on right at the end where he's like, and I'll tell you now about what like it means to be like a human or something like that, and he just chops the head off. Anyways, the one shot that I actually was like, ooh, yeah, I like that is the dam shots. It's like the boat against the dam wall. You just have like the boat on the water, and it's like against this really hard, conflicting surface. Like it seemed to be like Villeneuve started doing some moves up the dam and shit, and he's like, "Yeah, you're gonna get this one," And I got that one.
Imagery.
Yeah.
Cinema.
I put down her picking up the scalp with the fork.
Oh.
Dude, that grossed me out. That was so nasty.
The busted
The
ass.
sound of
fork.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's like a fucking disposable fork.
Favorite quotes? Didn't have one on this one myself.
I just wrote something down.
Really
I don't speak French.
I put, we talking ass or business?
Nice. Hell yeah, dude. So
that's good.
I did note that compared to our last dive with Linklater, like I could pull quotes from his shit. For these two movies, I was like, I don't know if I could really grab.
I think it's
like,
also because like this one's in French, so it's like fucking hard.
Yeah,
to,
I guess, but I feel like I could still do. I don't know. My question is Villeneuve like equally operating on a level of vibes? More so than
we'll
dialogue
Not in
or
these
substance.
movies.
Different
Different
definitely
vibes.
not in these movies.
No.
I don't know. Different vibes
feel
because
like
there's a
there's
vibe
good
in these
quotes
movies.
in other
Well, it's
movies.
not the Texas vibe, that's for sure. But like I'm saying,
no,
like
fuck no.
there's more just
Well, that's
like
a good point, actually.
yeah, there's more just like filmmaking or like told through visuals than like actual
Yeah.
meaty quotes. And
That's
shit.
interesting. It's more like
sure.
watching a Linklater movie. It's like a kind of like he's cuddling you through it. It's like, oh, this is relatable. This is not, sterile.
Drops
This
you off.
is
Mm.
wow. That's interesting. I didn't think about it that way.
Just something I thought of. Yeah, something to think about. Do you guys have a best performance for this?
I'll put the fish.
Nice,
Okay.
dude. You know,
Hell yeah.
honestly, I like that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I
I
feel
did
like
not enjoy this movie. I think I was too
basically
generous with
like
my star rating, thinking back
Wow.
on it. But
Same actually.
Linklater's been like cuddling us the whole time on his dive, and then he just like took us to Montreal and just dropped us off. And he was
Just threw
like,
us in the
"God, I'll see you in
darkness.
a couple weeks."
Yeah, right.
yeah,
Hope you make it.
I
Yeah. I just
hope
gave
you
it to the
find your way
lead.
home.
Yeah, I just gave it to the lead performance. I think she had the most to do. Did the best job,
She was
probably.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was good. I thought the guy was good too. Like they were both pretty good.
They were fine. All right.
Yeah.
Harsh. Okay. Best scene. I had where she finds the ashes in the bed, and it kind of leads to the nice like open ending of like, what if? What's going to happen in this relationship? Will they forgive each other? Will they be able to, make it
Yeah.
work?
Yeah.
Best scene, any of the shower scenes. There's a lot of fucking shower scenes in this. Is it just me? Am I crazy?
That's where she went through all of her emotions, dude.
I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
That's why you put the title in. He's like, holy fuck, I filmed 8 shower scenes and that they don't mean anything. She's really upset in the shower. Believe
somebody
us,
else
believe
watched
me.
it.
Are a
Somebody
good
else watched it. They're just like, "Why do you have so many shower scenes in here?" Let's.
Yeah. Yeah. What's she thinking
There's
about in the shower
recording
scene?
edits
Do
in
we know?
the
Like,
secondary narration.
right.
She becomes more aware of her body in the shower.
Yeah.
There we go. Cracked it.
She's
Yeah.
a 30-year-old
We're onto
woman,
something.
woman just becoming familiar with her body in the shower.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute.
Discovering.
Favorite proper set? Had to fish for this one.
I also
Yeah,
put
The
shit.
condom.
The condom?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wear protection. Wear protection.
There was she learned from her past mistake, even
Mm.
though she was going to put it on backwards.
Growth.
Yeah.
Growth. Character growth.
Yeah.
She learns.
Yep.
Yeah.
And growth.
Hell yeah.
Never mind. Anyways, your double
Yep.
feature.
Growth.
Okay.
I had The Killing of a Sacred Deer for double feature. I think it kind of captures that same
Yeah.
spirit for sure.
That's solid.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'll
could,
go
like,
with that.
kept thinking about Nosferatu the whole time with the title cards and shit and the narration.
Mm.
But I mean, there's no narration in Nosferatu, but the title cards, and it just I don't know. So I picked that one
Looming
because I was
dread.
just as miserable through that, I think, as this one.
You're like,
Yeah.
I'm back to that feeling, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
And
Hell yeah.
get it. Any other double
Yeah,
features?
I'll go with your Killing of Sacred Deer. I think that's.
I'll go with Nosferatu.
There you
Yeah.
go.
A 50-50 split. Oh shit.
Mm.
I don't have anybody for recasting.
I don't either.
Nah.
Whoa. We don't want to put Uma Thurman in the lead and Ethan Hawke in the
You
co-lead.
know what? Now that you say
Yeah.
that,
I mean, like, we could both do this.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
I feel like, yeah.
this is only a
Joey
couple
Delpy's
degrees
French,
away
man.
from tape, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Could get there. You could dial it up. Nitpicks. I just had the old school text screen. No, didn't need it. Didn't make sense. Any other nitpicks?
Yeah.
I mean, that
Forget-
and having to try new shit as far as shooting, like, every scene.
Yeah.
It's weird, different. You know.
Yeah,
Tone it
that's a
down,
good point. Yeah, just like let me
Yeah.
pull
yeah,
back a little
give me
bit,
something.
Nitpick.
That's fair.
What was the fish for? And I don't entirely think he had to open up with the abortion sequence.
Yeah, I don't think he did either.
It
Yeah,
really didn't
point.
like have much of an impact besides being like, look at how fucking unhinged I'm gonna be, guys.
Yeah.
And then
That's
we
fair.
have to watch him plop the fetus out, bag it, and then burn it. Like, come on. I don't know.
Yeah. I felt like it was
Yeah.
just
Yeah, it's been
like I
much.
get what he was going for. I just felt like it was like kind of unnecessary because like I don't know. Maybe it was just like it just seemed like it was like too much shit. Like I already felt
Yeah.
like she was an unhinged person already before
Yeah.
you needed to introduce like the abortion kind of stuff.
It-
like
Mhm.
Yeah. And
I
like,
feel like you could have just skipped that, introduced her at, like, I don't know.
It's hard to be on her side.
$200,000 or some shit as
Yeah.
a nepo baby,
Right.
and then like
Yeah.
have her go on a fucking bender and kill some
That's-
dude. I don't know.
that's the thing to mirror it with
That could
another
work.
like Nymphomaniac when I said there's an abortion sequence. It's much more brutal than this, but like that one was fitting
You've seen the
because the
Cody.
entire movie she's wanting us to believe and know and understand that she is a terrible person. She has no redeeming qualities. So like, I don't know. This one leading it with that and setting it up to where we're like already offset with the, I don't know. It was just a weird
Yeah,
choice.
it's kind of a
Lead us
Yeah.
hole. You just dug yourself into a hole pretty fast there,
Right.
especially because the character.
without
It's
any
like
formal
her.
build up, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, for sure.
And then we could have taken out all the shower scenes.
Yeah.
That's the key to the film, Joe. God, one
Yeah,
one
we've
day
only
you'll
got an
understand.
hour instead of hour and 20, I guess.
Yeah. Any clever girl notes on this one? Can we give it some praise? I just said to be on that depression filmmaking so early on is I don't know. I feel like this movie and this type of style kind of inspired a lot of modern sensibilities for drama stuff specifically, and
Yeah.
just
Okay,
like
yeah.
digging into more deep trauma stories, I guess.
Gotcha.
Maybe.
I think that's fair. This does it heavy-handedly, but for sure. Yeah.
Right.
He definitely pulls out all the stops and just kind of like goes for it in this one. Like he did the most, I think, in this movie where he was like, so I guess, yeah, out the gates, bold swing, but I see why he took a break to finally to like gather himself and be like, let me figure out something first. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Let me take some time. Could a TikToker watch this?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
1 out
Wait,
of
what
10.
was it? We were doing out of 10? Yeah.
1
2
out of 10
1 out
TikTokers.
of 10.
Yeah.
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 No.
If that.
Yeah, that's generous.
I'd
Sequel,
be like,
prequel,
"Whoa, like, read
remake.
subtitles?
Am I
What
all right?
the
Is this? Do people get abortions and then immediately go out to the club and start hooking up again? I feel like that's like
Only if you're living life to the fullest, my man.
Yeah. Use protection?
fair.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess, yeah.
Go slow, be gentle.
I don't know.
Oh,
Okay.
that's all you have to. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Cool.
Doctor's orders.
No, yeah, it's
It's like talk to somebody about your fucking problems, or go to therapy or
this
something.
is before
Yeah.
therapy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
that's
wasn't
crazy
even
tough.
invented yet.
Therapists exist. This was 2000. What do you think Tony Soprano was doing in 2000?
That's a
true.
good
yeah,
point.
yeah,
Tony had
he
to
was on
figure it
the
out.
early therapy train.
Yeah,
That's true.
therapy like existed around this time, but most people just didn't fucking like
Yeah.
it or know what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't as mainstream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sequel, prequel, remake. This was the first movie where I really want none.
Yeah. Don't give me anything.
No.
Unless we're
I'll
talking about
remake
like
it.
a prequel to explain the fish. Then
Yeah.
Hmm.
In that guy
Mm.
in the cave or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need
Yeah,
to know
what's
more
the
about that
lore?
guy.
Give me the
Yeah.
lore.
Okay, I'll watch that. Maybe. Oh, yeah.
Wow, that would be, it's like
I
a
wouldn't
totally
even watch
has
that.
nothing to do with like,
What if
it's like
that's like
1600.
What if that's Villeneuve's next film? He just announces it now. He's like, I'm gonna go back to Maelstrom. There's something I haven't finished. Like it's
There's
It's
something
the
that's
fish
just been
storyline.
bugging me for
They're like
years.
Vikings and shit,
I've
like-
created a whole lore. It's in my head. Trust me. Like I'd be like, all right, man.
We're
Take me
delving into
there.
lore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as much as this one's kind of a slog, bit messy, not great. I did give it 3 stars. I think it's better than some of the other things I
Same.
watched from him already. So it's fine.
I also gave it 3 stars.
I
I
give
gave
it
it 3,
2.
but I'm
I-
gonna give it
2.
2.5. Yeah.
I didn't think it
Totally
was
fair.
great. I could go down to 2.5.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We got 2.5, 2.5 here, 2.5,
Think a
2.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going once, going twice.
How low can we
If
go?
we're going,
You know, I might
if we're
actually
going by
go down
your
to
scale,
2.5.
Joe, I think it would be a 0 or a 1 star. 1 star, right? By your scale.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because I
1
wouldn't
out of 5?
recommend. I don't think I would rewatch, so that's already going to be a 0.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
a
Oof.
3.
That's rough.
Wait, what's the third? Recommend? Would I recommend? Yeah, I
You
wouldn't
said
recommend.
recommend.
Yeah.
Would you rewatch? And
Oh, was I entertained? Yeah,
There you go.
I was not. Yeah, this would get
Gotcha.
See,
I
that's
was-
a
Yeah,
0
alright.
out of
I'm
0.
bumping it down to 2.
There you go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sold.
Scale has shifted.
Glad we could talk you off that ledge.
That's a very good
Yeah.
point. Thanks for giving me some perspective.
Right.
That's what
Well,
we're here for. Yeah.
let's move into his next film then. What was it, like a 10-year gap, 9-year gap on this one?
9-year gap. Yeah.
Raised some kids, got bored of the
yeah.
Daddy
kids.
for a while.
Yeah, I was like, I need to get back outside. Let's make a movie.
Like a movie about a school shooting.
Yeah, something relevant, something people will watch. Yeah. What'd you guys think of this
Totally.
movie?
I think it was a step up cinematically. I think the story was a little bit bland. I think that it could have been a short film because there's just a lot of blank, I don't know, dead air. I don't know how to explain it. It just felt like
I
a lot of
100%
people just
agree.
walking down hallways, a lot of people just walking. I don't know. There was
Yeah.
a couple things that I have for, or one thing I have for the clever girl that I thought was very well done and tasteful, but I won't step on that
Mm.
category yet.
Cool.
I mean, like, maybe I wasn't paying attention well enough. All I really got from, like, the killer was that he just, like, hated women
Women?
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, I didn't really know, like, why.
But then he hated
Right.
women, but then after he killed that group of women that he just chose a random class, he just starts shooting everybody. So like
Well, I think he
you,
was, like, meticulously, like, picking out the women. Because, like, I just
Yeah.
remember one
Yeah.
time he was, like,
Seemed like it.
walking on tables and shit, and he was, like, looking under the table to make sure, like, it was a
yeah,
woman under there pretty much.
maybe. But
But
he
I
wanted
I guess you're
specifically
right,
the
because he did just
engineering
shoot a
class.
guy, like,
Yeah,
when
he's
he was
shooting
in, like,
at
the
like people
cafeteria.
or toward people.
So that's true.
Yeah.
He was kind of
Yeah.
just killing everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I
But
watched
yeah.
a movie called Elephant by Gus Van Sant last year, and it basically is just like the Columbine shootings told through like a
Yeah.
dramatic lens of like everyday life students walking through halls and like just going to class, and then there's these two gunmen who walk in and everything changes. And to be quite honest, I found everything. Well,
Sorry,
yeah. But to be quite honest, I found Polytechnique to be almost a carbon copy imitation of that movie in a way that felt basically lifeless and kind of without like guidance on what it was being made for. But
Yeah.
I respect the story
and
and
this
it
came
being
out like
told.
6 years later, right?
That's what I'm saying. It is like, I mean, instantly I was like, oh, this is his elephant. And also, it's his Children of Men, because the opening
Yeah.
scene, as powerful as it is completely ripped from Children of Men in a way that's like, I don't, I right away, I was like, okay, I got it. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't really like this movie. It did what it was trying to do, but it just wasn't really successful, I guess, in a lot of like, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh no, I definitely see that. I think coming off of how much I dislike Maelstrom, this one felt a little bit refreshing because I don't know if it was more accessible. Not that I've ever been a part of something like that, but it was just something more of like, oh, there's no talking fish. This is grounded. I can get into this a little bit easier.
Completely realistic. Yeah.
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 Otherwise, the motives of the shoot. Okay, I'm gonna step on the nitpicks, but like, starting off the movie saying this is based on real thing, but we've fictionalized every character. Is it actually based off? Like, I guess I don't understand. What's
I
the point of
wondered that.
making a true story based off something if you're gonna fictionalize everything, but then still show the victims to get their approval? Why wouldn't we just? I don't know. I see changing their names, but no one ever says a name in this, right? That I know of, that
I
I
don't think
heard.
so.
Couple times. Yeah.
So, like, does it
Hmm.
really matter that this was they had to say, "Oh, these characters are fictional"? I don't know. It just kind of flattened the whole concept of it being based on a true story. So,
Yeah, it made
But
me
hey,
question, was like, okay, how much should I believe is truthful in
right,
this,
right.
and how much
Did
is
this
being
guy actually
fabricated?
hate women as much as he's saying? Maybe, but or was this
Yeah.
something that Denny was like, I'm gonna amplify this to make it more of like a cinematic and let's hate this guy even more when he's already
Right,
doing
right.
something completely deplorable. So it's just kind of like we don't have to hate him more just because he hates women. He's shooting
Right.
people. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, there were scenes that I was, like, sickened by in this movie, and maybe that's why yeah, I don't know, it was just, hard to watch even though, like we said, the cinematography is pretty good. Um, yeah, direction I didn't know the motive of this movie. I was like, are we like, obviously, this is bad, but, like, what's the
Yeah.
larger story here? Like,
Right.
what
yeah.
What are you
I don't
telling me?
know.
Why are we
go ahead and
following the
watch it.
killer?
Yeah.
it's I don't know. Uh, Gus Van Sant's movie is similarly like shocking and kind of like in your face about following the gunner, doing the actions and stuff. But there's like a weird life in that movie that this one just has nothing of. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
This
To
one did
that
not
one is
have
like
a life.
messing with that idea, and this one's just like I'm gonna show you the images of this
Yeah.
instance. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know. And the parts like to me, like the motive and stuff, I'm like, okay, yeah, crazy dude blames women, understand. And I think it's kind of true to what happened from what the little research I did. But the stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know if that's real at all is like in the classroom when he finally this moment of pure violence against the women, and they're like the moment right before they say like we're not even feminists,
Dude.
and then it's like pull the trigger, and it's like, was that
Yeah.
real, or was this like how can I shoot the gun at the exact point of like most impact in the story, you know?
Right.
And like
Mm,
it's
What would
just
be the
yeah, it
most
feels weird.
dramatic moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Which
because
kind
I
of
was like
sucks on
waiting
like
for
for the
that to be
girl,
like his
that
focus.
sequence.
Oh, sorry.
No,
That scene,
no.
I was like, he's gonna like say he's gonna like speak his piece as like why he's doing what he's, and then it was like, I hate feminists, bang, 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 bang. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, all
And it's
right.
shocking, don't get me wrong, but like
Oh yeah,
that doesn't
uh,
carry the movie or the theme, or like it doesn't really
right.
add. It's just like the event, and
Just like
You
violence.
know, I
All
think it's
right.
kind of funny because, like, in a way, we're kind of just like shitting on maybe the real killer. Because, like,
yeah,
maybe he didn't really have a lot of substance or background either.
no,
It
100%.
is.
Which I don't know.
Well, I did the little research I
Maybe
did
that's the point.
have is the letter, the manifesto that you read is actually like his words for the most part, I think.
Oh, shit.
So
Okay.
like this is what he thought, and like it's like you said deplorable, but like you can understand it, I guess. For me, not like saying I hate women, but like I know a person like that, you know.
We
Like,
I
know.
don't think I
We
can do
know
this
that.
podcast anymore.
guys,
if you
off
keep, like,
air, off air. Jesus Christ, we'll talk later.
Next meeting.
Nah.
Next meeting.
Yeah. Keep it on the DL.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. It
Oh.
just didn't really rise above those other movies, like I stated, and like not that it didn't stand out, didn't say anything about
Yeah.
it. And
one
with
of
the
the
women
things
hating,
is-
the filmmaking doesn't show the intentions, like you say. Like maybe that's the confusion. Is like it just feels like a shooting, and it's like, well, yeah, but it's all about women. And it's like, well, no, it's not. You didn't really like display that in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
And I'll just go for the category. Anyway.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I was waiting for because the cinematography was nice. I was waiting for it to get to a place where, if we're following this killer, it becomes a little more like, oh, this guy's unhinged. You know, he's like not rational. His views are fucking way skewed. But it was kind of just like, nah, let's just have some nice like looking shots. They're nice shots, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It didn't
for a
translate.
bit,
You know,
like, I didn't even really understand the beginning of the movie because, like, it opens up
Just like the
where people are getting
copiers.
shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's copiers.
Yeah.
And then it cuts
With
to
the-
like the beginning of the day,
Yeah.
or like it cuts to just the guy like
Yeah.
checking out his gun.
Because he
And I'm
wanted the
like,
Children of Men opening.
All right.
Yeah.
But then like
Mhm.
he like shaved, and then like it focused on this other dude with a beard, and I'm just like, okay, is this a flashback? And it's the same dude because like they kind of looked similar, and I'm
I
like,
thought
don't
it
know.
was the same guy at first.
I know.
too.
I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Like, is he getting pissed because like he's in class and he hates these women and like they're like doing better than him at school or something like that? But no, that
Right.
like wasn't it at all. It was just some other dude like in the class who ended up
Yeah.
committing suicide.
Yeah,
It's
and then they
funny.
just show you his manifesto immediately, and then just like get into it. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
I've been listening to a lot of Vince Staples, and a couple of his albums start off like this movie starts off real peaceful stuff happening, then all of a sudden a gunshot. So that was good timing on my part. So
Nice. Yeah,
with the
it's
copiers,
connecting.
good.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Villeneuve, get some Vince Staples in here, re-edit.
Yeah. Right.
Or Vince Staples is a fan of this movie, and he took
Mm.
took it into consideration while making his albums.
Yeah.
There you go. Pick your
Before we get into some categories, I will say major Prisoners energy in this movie. I've seen Prisoners of his later. To me, I got a lot of like
Really?
sitting in the car being all
Yeah.
angry and like depressed and shit, and just like viewing it from the side, and I was like, oh, this is like we're tapping into
Funny.
the prisoners here. Like,
I
Yeah,
got
okay.
Sicario heavy on this one.
ooh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Maybe on rewatch,
Like-
I'll get that one.
just like the cinematography and like the slow sequences, like you said, same things with the weapons and in the cars,
Oh.
like just being angry and like contemplating heavy things. So
Yeah, cool. Well, the seeds have been planted. You know, you didn't get it. You know, you didn't get any of that, Noah, or what? No,
not, not listening.
See,
can you hear this, Noah?
What's happening?
Oh,
Wait,
oh,
you guys aren't frozen. Okay.
oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Was I
that's what was
frozen?
happening.
We just saw confusion on your face, so we were like, oh, maybe he has something to say here on this. But
Oh no, I missed whatever you were saying, Alex. Everything froze on my end for a good
okay.
minute.
All good.
It wasn't important. It was just nonsense. I
Okay.
was
That's
speaking
what I
in
figured.
tongues, so yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly. Well, let's just get into some categories. Let's power through this bad boy.
well, yeah, I have like
Yeah.
nothing for this one.
This one was
so.
this one was harder for
Me
me too.
neither.
Yeah.
Me neither, man.
Did you guys get a theme from this movie? Because I had to like rip it, and I was like, this doesn't even.
No, because I was like,
Um,
is this a tribute film? This doesn't feel like a tribute film.
Yeah, I
But,
guess
you know,
I guess it is.
the world, like he says it in like the quote where it's like, "I'll tell her the world is hers," but like I guess the theme
at
for
the
me
end,
is like
yeah.
the world is everybody's. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I said the world will fuck you up. That's what I got from this movie.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good one.
If you're
Yeah.
women,
You're
in
happy
this-
and
yeah, and
the
to me,
world will
to
fucking eat you.
follow the shooter being so fucked up is like where I got that, where it's like the women getting killed, the world just fucks you up out of nowhere, and this guy's clearly got a fucked up worldview somehow.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hell yeah,
That works.
Yep.
World
I'd second
sucks.
that
People
one.
suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
message. You love to watch movies about that.
Yeah, really jumping
That's-
out the gates with this depressing shit. Holy
Yeah.
fuck! And that's what
Yeah.
I told Sarah on the way home today. I'm like, honestly, these two movies we're talking about are super fucking depressing. Like, really
Yeah.
sad.
It gets better, but kind
It
of
does. It gets like a lot better,
similarly,
which is crazy.
but like he also doesn't really get to like a
Not really
hopeful
happier
level.
though, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
there's a
still pretty
couple.
depressing.
Right.
They're pretty.
At least from the
similar vein.
vibe that I
Yeah.
feel like, most of them give off.
Yeah, we'll get into those
Oh,
later.
true.
But
Sicario,
we'll see.
Arrival.
Yeah. Favorite shot. I had the copier shot, the opener. Just like the instantaneous change, like unbelievable change, where she's like shell shocked, and you like
Yeah.
follow her out the door,
That's a good
basically to
sequence.
leave.
Mine
Yeah.
was the gun forehead
Oh yeah,
sequence
that's
into the
good.
apartment.
Yeah,
I think I'd say
powerful image.
when the guys walk into like the lake after and he's gonna commit
Yeah,
suicide.
Oh,
and
Huge
he's just, like,
Fargo
walking
vibes
on
on
the
that
side.
one.
true.
Mm.
Just the
Yeah,
way it's
the
shot.
wide
Yeah.
shot in the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, yeah. I had the it's like the library. It just fucked me up when I first saw it, where it's like moving through the rows, and then it like twists and turns, and then it gets to the guy at the desk, and he's like scrawling his notes and all that.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is just
Yeah.
visually interesting, fun.
Dude, I will say that scene, or like when they like finally got on him and he's just like moving his shit around, but that's like out of view, and he like spills his coffee. That was just like so unauthentic. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
That like
I thought
it was pretty obvious that he didn't actually like spill his coffee, and that was just like, what do you have to do? You know?
he didn't even try to like pick it up, like the coffee, like to stop the spill.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
It's like, all right. Yeah, that was leading up to that. That shot was great. But yeah.
Yeah.
Then he fucked it.
Yeah.
Then it
Did
went
you
to shit.
guys
Yeah.
you guys get any
Maybe it's
quotes out of this one?
One of
That
the
end
final
quote is it.
quotes,
Yeah.
if I have a boy, I'll teach him how to love. If I have a girl, I'll tell her the world is hers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I
I
do
like
have
that one.
maybe one. Because well, I guess not really. I just wrote down a note because the guy, it follows one of the women, and she like has an interview for an internship, but she's a mechanical engineer, and the guy's like, "Oh, I assumed you were a civil engineer because that's like easier or whatever." And I just wrote down,
Yeah.
I wrote that down because like civil engineering is actually like the easiest of like the engineering fields, at least in like college. So like That was actually kind of accurate.
He did
Not
his
for the weird
research.
Well
part,
done.
not for the weird part though, just for the
Yeah.
civil engineering part. Like,
Sure.
I don't know.
Right.
I'm just saying, like,
I just had, I think it's towards the end, and maybe in the same speech as that last note, but she says, "He's dead. I'm alive. He's free. I'm not." And I was like, there you go.
hell yeah.
That's what we're supposed to get.
And profound.
Yeah. Best performance, I gave it to Sebastian Huberdeau. He's the bearded dude,
Oh
kind of the main
God.
Oh,
guy.
I would not give it to that.
No, I mean, who?
I told you
He
about
was
my
the best.
library scene.
Yeah,
I thought it was free.
Library scene shit.
I feel like you could follow like
Um,
his anguish enough to like,
Yeah.
even if it's contained,
Mm.
it's like,
I mean, realistically, like he's really like the only. Who else with
Yeah.
it? Like, you know, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
There really wasn't anybody
The
else who like
shooter.
did that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Shooter
guess,
just kind
but
of
like he
stoic
really,
and
I don't know, didn't really
Dead
give it
faced.
that much.
Yeah,
no. Yeah.
Look angry
Maybe-
and look like you hate the world.
yeah.
Go.
Look like there's nothing going on in
Yeah,
your eyes.
Action.
Right.
Best scene, I had the opening scene, and the manifesto scene. I think it's well done. I don't
The
know.
Yeah.
shoot?
The manifesto scene's probably pretty good, or honestly, the copier sequence with the shell shock.
Yeah.
And it loops around and follows up and gets us to
Yeah.
that scene
That's
from a different perspective.
From the other angle. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Favorite proper
I-
set? I said, I guess the
This is a
gun.
dangerous category. Yeah.
Oh, I would go with you know
The
how
manifesto.
no, I would
Oh.
go with in their like cafeteria, there was like an auditorium section where there was like
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
I'd
it-
go with
that was
that
cool.
because
That
that
was
was actually
cool.
like pretty cool. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, I wish
That
I
was
had
cool.
something like that at my school or my college.
You can
'cause, like, that was, like,
Definitely.
pretty
Smoke in buildings and on
Yeah.
campuses. And
Hell yeah! Well, in
Yeah.
1999,
Oh. Sing
Damn.
inside, baby.
because I think this was supposed to be the shooting took place in 1989.
and
Yeah.
was this in Canada? Is that where it
I
was?
think so.
Mhm.
And Canada was
Montreal.
fucking cool back then. Shit. Smoking
They're ahead
on
of the
campus,
game.
in
Yeah.
building.
Yeah. I'm moving to Canada.
I'm gonna smoke indoors.
Yeah.
Double
Thanks for making
feature. I
us
just had Gus Van Sant's Elephant. You guys have one?
No.
That's what I wrote down.
There you go.
Is there a documentary about Sandy Hook? I don't know. Go for that. Go for that.
Oh,
Maybe that one that just came out with, I think it was Jenna Ortega about the school shooting.
Oh,
It was on HBO.
okay. Yeah.
What was
can't
that
think of
one?
what it's
Haven't seen
called.
that one.
I didn't like that one
I've seen
at all
her.
either. So
Yeah.
I didn't
Ah,
hear about
fuck.
that.
I think it was my least favorite movie of 2020 or 2019.
Okay.
Damn. Okay.
I missed
I
one.
knew she did something like that. Yeah.
Oh damn, we're gonna have to
Ah.
make our lists for like
End of
Yeah.
the year.
damn.
Yes, sir.
Anyway,
Yeah, moving through. You
maybe that one.
guys recast anybody in this one?
The shooter.
That's what I said.
Okay.
Just give me a little something more.
Recast. Yeah.
I feel like the idea is to give you
I
nothing,
don't-
but then I got nothing. So
Mm,
Yeah. I see it. Yeah,
What's
no,
that?
I couldn't think of anybody because normally I like to try to recast them, like pick out who I would recast them with, but I
right.
couldn't think of anybody.
Mm.
But the shooter would be a good one. Give me somebody with a little bit more range, like shed some tears, maybe. I don't know. Show some sort of like contemplation.
something on the
Something.
face. Yeah.
Yeah, give me some.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Nitpicks. Here we go.
Well, I said my biggest one was that why base it on a true story if you're gonna fictionalize everything? Kind of takes
Oh,
away the wind
I
out of
was
its
actually
sails.
gonna say something about that. Not saying like because I was thinking it over. And it's like back when we watched Barry and Zodiac,
Mhm.
because those were like back to back when we were going over Fincher, and I don't know. I feel like that opened my eyes to like the fact that most things that are based on a true story are like fictionalized anyway. So like I don't know. I guess like the fact that he did say it was like kind of fictionalized. I mean, that's basically what everybody does. So
Yeah.
like the fact that you say it or you don't
Yeah.
say it, like which is better? You know what I mean? And in this
I say
case,
don't
it was
say it.
probably worse. Yeah.
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 See, that's how I felt with like Blink Twice giving a disclaimer before the Blink
Yeah.
Twice.
Kinda
It's just
like,
like it takes the wind out of the sails. It ruins the effect that you're trying to get. I don't know. For me, at least, that's just my opinion.
Fair.
I'm going in
That's
as a
fair.
viewer. I can interpret it. Don't tell me how to interpret it.
Right.
Don't tell me how to
yeah.
feel
Right.
about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Movies that don't respect an audience's like intelligence are pretty annoying, I feel like. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, do you think people make movies like that because it's like TikTok generation now? We gotta fucking beat these
That's how I
kids over the
felt.
head with shit.
They're not gonna get
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
that's how I felt with Blink Twice, where it was just kind of like, let's cover our ass with this one. I don't know.
I felt like
Yeah.
I don't like to use this term very much, but it felt like just like a woke kind of like we need
Yeah.
to show you that there's
Oh.
violence in this movie, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of got
It's
that
like
from the trailer, but like,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. That sounds
Um,
dangerous, man, because it's like
To
you're
be
being
fair, like,
so
in
yeah,
Blink
go ahead.
Twice, I guess it like realistically, it they like make it comedic basically, but it is
Yeah.
pretty fucked up.
It's
I
dark.
mean, as a
Yeah.
whole, like it is
It's dark,
pretty fucked
but
up.
it
Yeah.
And the
doesn't even.
violence is dark.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even go
Yeah.
as far as you think it's gonna go due to that
Yeah.
disclaimer. Like the disclaimer
Yeah.
makes it seem like, oh, it's gonna be fucking bananas.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose your shit. And it was like,
It's really
oh,
not that bad.
okay,
I mean,
yeah,
it's bad, but like, no.
right,
I kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
assumed something like that was going on.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's kind of like the message of the
The
movie. But
idea,
anyway, yeah.
yeah. That's the
Okay.
foundation. We know what we're getting into anyway.
Nitpicks for me, I had a big one of like why black and white, man. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have an answer for you.
what's
He
that?
wanted to shoot it in black and white to take away from the gruesomeness of it. I believe that's what it said on here. 'Cause I was also curious, why the fuck is
That's
it black and white?
crazy.
To me, that is like
you're
counterproductive to the fucking point,
Yeah.
man. Like,
Yeah.
Shot in black and white to avoid
Yeah.
the
So as
presence
to
of
avoid
blood.
the presence of blood on screen.
Yeah.
I just found this in there.
Yeah.
I think if you had the color red
Yeah,
in this
sure.
movie, I'd be actively more engaged with it and like
I
kind
agree.
of contemplating. I don't, or just like the engagement level would bring meaning more to it or something. But
I
Mm.
thought after the copying
Well, this
sequence, it was
minister.
gonna click to color, and it was gonna be like all right.
Would have been nice.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
it just felt like these couple of movies. It's like I kind of see what some of the gripes are now with Villeneuve, where it's like he's kind of got style, but is there like substance underneath? And
Is there a reason for the style,
right,
or
like
is he
what
just
is the
being artsy?
choice? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll see on the later ones. I'm excited to rewatch them, and I hope I'm not like down on them. But these first two, I'm just like kind of not on board for some of the decisions, man. But
Yeah.
that's
I agree.
another one. Is like I'm a big supporter of any runtime. The shorter, if you want to do it, the better. This one's 77 minutes, and I honestly, it feels like they couldn't fill a movie,
How long?
and that's not a good feeling. It felt
It's-
long, and
Yeah.
like they didn't have enough, and I'm like,
Right.
this is 77
It was
fucking
like, let's
minutes.
make more long shots of nothing happening, of just dead air. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're showing the impact of, the wake of his destruction here, but like, do I need 30 minutes of it in
Do I
this
need to see
movie
the
Right.
next angle of the hallway and like the
Right.
no? It's just because that's what you
Mhm.
filmed,
Yeah.
and that's the only thing you filmed. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. I feel that. I mean, I felt that with Maelstrom too, where it's just like, okay, another shower scene, she's freaking out again. All right.
Right.
Here we
Right.
go.
She's
Move forward.
starting to feel more in the body again.
You know, the usual.
Touch, I guess.
Clever girl. Alex, you said you had one for this.
Yeah, just I don't know if it was intentional, but like whenever he shoots one of the women, you never see them getting shot. You see after the fact, like sort of, but like when he shoots the girls behind the curtains, you don't see the girls. So it's not like shot like an action movie where we're seeing them get blasted away. So it's tasteful in that way. Like we only see him shooting. We don't see the victims getting shot. Per se, the girls under the
It's
table,
true.
you don't see them getting shot. You just see him
Yeah.
shooting the tables.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I guess it would be like a clever girl if that's like, because like the assumption is because he already shot it in like black and white. he wanted to cut down on the
Right.
violence. So like that would go along with that
Right.
kind of theme.
That's what
Yeah.
after I read that, it kind of solidified the clever girl because
But
I'm
I
like,
guess
okay,
I
it
could
was probably
see.
intentional. He's trying not to glorify this
I mean, I'm
sort of
assuming
thing.
it was
Sensationalize it.
also like super low budget. So like I mean, I could also see it like kind of for that reason too, for just budget,
'Cause
or
Yeah,
maybe
you
for both.
see,
I don't know.
sure,
I'd be
that could be
interested.
another factor, but it did show him blasting himself in the head. Like
That's
it didn't
true.
pull away from that. So
That's
like I
true.
think it was an intentional idea for him to be
Yeah.
like, let's not show him killing these women, but we'll show him blast his fucking head off. So
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
The only one I could really pull, it was pretty tough for me on this one. I had during the manifesto scene, there's a scene of him like washing the dishes, or like a
Yeah.
shot of him, and I thought that was just really interesting for this shooter
Yeah.
killer to be like mindful of what's coming next in his apartment, or you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It was just an interesting little flavor touch. But
that was the whole beginning sequence was pretty solid and with his manifesto because like he's tidying up everything, shaving his face,
Yeah.
cleaning up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not that it was good, but it was just like
Well, that's
an
also
interesting
like
touch.
one of the only feature parts of like writing and dialogue minus the end. So
Yeah.
like, and he also basically used the real manifesto. So it's like he kind of just had the blueprint of like the
Right.
scene.
Mm.
Moving on. Could have any other clever girls or
No, that's all I could
Not
think.
really. I could do
How he
cinematography,
hooked
but
up that tube to his car.
Okay, first off, let me just
Jesus
if we're
Christ.
gonna
I like
if we're
that.
gonna do ourselves in, why are we getting so creative with it? Just make it quick, guys. You know,
Yeah.
Dude, you saw fucking
Or maybe he
what's
just like
Ari
wanted to
Aster's
see the
movie?
water.
now that was fucking fucked up.
That's how you do it, man. You pull your full
That-
gas max right to the face, dude, from the car, right? Like,
That's immediately what I thought of with this. I'm like, I
Yeah.
wonder if he's duct taping that to his fucking mouth like a Chad, or if he's going out like a puss here. But yeah. Anyway, got
Yeah.
God damn.
why are we getting so
Oh,
creative?
yeah.
Just like I don't know.
Well, I think maybe
Yeah.
the gun is something you don't want to do after this situation, I would assume. But
Oh,
know.
sure. Yeah, you're probably right.
just saying.
Oh,
But
fine. I'm the
Yeah,
exhaust
so-
pipe. Okay.
all right. Kill yourself all you want, I guess.
Yeah, Jesus. Don't take my opinion.
So what's the
Yeah.
TikToker value ratio on this one?
-1.
Negative? Really?
I feel
Really?
like nowadays dealing with these sixth graders, there was a point at the beginning of the year where they kept talking about how, oh, we saw on TikTok that this person's gonna shoot up this, and it's just like this is just not something kids need to see. So I'm gonna say no, negative.
You just want to
Please
keep it
don't.
off TikTok. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got you. Yeah.
That's,
I said a solid
idea.
5 out of 10 because misunderstanding this movie is the first step to people becoming an incel. And 5
Perfect.
out of 10 people are going to completely
Yeah.
misunderstand it and go right down that road.
No, dude, I might actually go higher because there's like gonna be the people like that, but then there's also gonna be like the people who are like, I guess like school shootings are like pretty common these days, or have become more common.
Unfortunately.
I don't fucking know.
I would say
Because
threats
like
are
I guess I
more
was
common.
like gonna be like maybe somebody like hadn't heard of fucking school shootings or like this particular one, and like they needed to like I don't know make a public.
I was gonna say higher
Yeah.
too because I was
Announcement.
like, this.
I don't know.
It's like an awareness thing. Yeah. Yeah, I would say a little higher, maybe like a 4.
I just
4 or 5,
imagine
yeah.
like the manifesto being like, I agree 100%. Andrew Tate
Yeah.
told me this too.
Women.
You know, like
That's the
yeah.
that's the dangerous shit.
Exactly.
I mean, dude. I mean, he walks into that one guy. He like busts into that one room with the dudes, and I'm pretty sure I saw like a swastika poster
really?
in that room. I was like, holy fuck! Someone saw that and was like, that's the room I want to fucking party in.
Yeah.
Like,
Where's the Confederate flag too? And then we can really start the party.
yeah. Jesus.
It's like
Yeah.
the Canadian.
I don't know.
Confederate.
Yeah, is that a thing?
Oh fuck.
Oh, God, man.
Damn it,
All
man.
right,
You're
guys,
right.
let's
People
wrap it
laughing
up.
Too much
Let's wrap it
with
up.
this
Yeah,
film.
Yeah,
it's just driving us
Yeah.
crazy. Sequel, prequel, remake, and another one where I was just like, nah. But
You
if
don't
I
want
had
to
to
see
do
the
it,
origin story?
no. if I had to do anything, it'd be like a sequel documentary where you like follow up with like the people that were actually impacted, or if I had to make something.
It's
Yeah.
I
funny.
mean, yeah, but like this is 30 years after.
Dude, I mean, Netflix is gonna
No,
make this
20,
documentary
20 years
in
after.
T
Sorry.
minus 6 months. So like,
Yeah, give
Yeah.
it a couple months.
But I
yeah.
guess like what I mean is like when this movie was made, it was 20 years after the event. So like I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know how many. Well, I guess the people would still be alive. I guess it's just like, ooh.
Well, yeah, it'd be interesting
wanna
to.
bring
Yeah, I
that
guess like
back up
who
again.
is the question. But,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
funny. This one guy I follow on Letterboxd, one of his reviews, I forget which movie it was, but it was like based on a true story, and it's one of the ones where it shows like the real pictures of the people afterwards. And he's like, his review was, "I'm pretty sure they're starting to make these movies just to show these pictures," and I'm just
Mhm.
like, I think you're onto something there. Like,
Hmm.
we could just look at the pictures. What's the point of the movie?
Yeah.
Because that's what you're
Yeah.
waiting for the whole time. You're like, all right, where's the? Let me see the lookalikes.
Yeah, I guess it's a good point
Yeah.
because it's like shit like this, or like this movie, or like if you're making movies like this, or like this concept. What really separates this to like need to be a movie from like me just like reading a fucking news article about it?
Yeah. Or reading
Right.
Wikipedia.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like why?
Mhm.
Like why does it need? Like I don't know. Add something to make
Well,
it necessary to be a movie. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
to that
Right.
point, it's like what we said earlier. It didn't need to be even 77 minutes. Like it
Yeah.
was an hour and 10 minutes. It didn't even go the full hour and 17 minutes. It went an hour and 10 minutes cut to credits. So like,
Mhm.
and it felt like it didn't have anything to say for half of that time. So
And
because
Right.
narratively following a shooter is like that's inherently like a bad idea. Also,
right,
so like, to try to do. I
Mm.
mean, I understand the attempt, but it's not. I just don't think you should do
right.
it. Like you're saying, Joe. Like just
Well,
read the Wikipedia article and like
Yeah.
gain the darkness and the knowledge that you need. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Mm.
I think that's like interesting to think about too, though. People like misinterpreting it. Because like I don't know. I was gonna bring up something like a couple months ago about how I had read this article because when we were going to adventure and we watched Fight Club, I was talking about how this
oh
could
yeah,
like you could easily get the wrong message from this. And like at the time of me reading the article a couple months ago, I've been talking to like a couple other people who had basically like um I don't know, mistook like some movie or some like art basically and misinterpreted it to be like something else. And it's just like, I don't know, it's on you as like the filmmaker to like make it known that I don't know. I guess
your
it's like
intentions known at least.
yeah, like to make
Yeah.
sure like like people are get why you're doing this or like
Mhm.
what
Right.
people
Yeah.
get what you want them to get out of it, you know? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, for
I mean, I know
sure.
like some
I
art
mean,
is
it's
like edgy and like it's supposed to be like that, but like not where it's questionable if you're gonna get a bad message or the opposite message that you're trying
Mhm.
to tell. You know what I mean?
And also, it's just
right.
like at a certain point, it's just exploitative of a natural like story that like the
Right.
biggest ones that I
True.
just don't watch like true crime shit anymore for the most point because like it's just like not something I need to engage with in an everyday capacity. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it's just so
I
like
don't
Fair.
understand like
the
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 draw of
monster
like the ID
stories.
channel.
Oh God, I
Yeah.
don't know. I just can't get on board with like
You don't like the
what was
cryptids?
what was that?
Mothman?
Oh, I can get on board with that shit. I like that shit. It's
Yeah,
the
that's
Menendez
different.
brothers and the fucking
Oh,
what's the first
see,
one?
I watched
Downer.
Dahmer,
Dahmer.
Monsters
My
of Dahmer.
girlfriend watched
Oh,
Dahmer, and I like walked through a couple times, and it's just like him like demolishing skulls and bones with hammers, and
yeah,
I'm just
dude.
like, why am I like, what do we
You're
want? Like,
like
I don't know.
that's like glorifying them.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Like
like, why
people
are
are
we
like
watching
Yeah,
this?
that same year where all
though.
that fucking Jeffrey Dahmer shit came out. Like I can't tell you how many people dressed up as him for fucking Halloween.
It's fucked up, man.
Yeah,
That's
that's
Like
fucked
gnarly.
they're
up.
just
It's not real to
glorifying
him.
people like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, like
Yeah,
that's so
Mm.
fucked up.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
And that's another thing to your point about just reading an article. You know how many podcasts and articles and YouTube videos I've watched on all these serial killers, cult leaders, all this stuff. And it's so much more interesting. 9 times out of 10, it's so much more interesting than watching
Because
a
they're just
series
That's
giving
about
you
true.
it.
the information and what
Yeah.
you
Right.
like need to know about
right.
this, not in a way that like you're supposed to get like one or like some kind of
Right.
weird message out of it, you know? Like
Right.
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
wasn't
It's
even
like,
like in documentary form. Like it
and
was
that's how I
based
felt
on
with,
the people of the fucking shooter. Like,
yeah. And that's how I felt with the Dahmer show is like, I wanted to
I
just
want
hear a
more.
podcast, and after I watched it, I listened to the podcast because I'm like, just tell me what he did. Tell
Yeah.
me like
Mhm.
I
how he
just
grew
want to know
up.
the facts.
Yeah.
Don't give me this whole like giant
Yeah.
Thoughts
It's almost
elaborate
like
before
you're
thing.
like
Like,
something or other.
yeah, some films allow you to vicariously do things you'll never do, and I respect that. But to make it a serial killing of like, ooh, now I get
Yeah.
to kind of act like I'm in the car and like I'm
yeah,
gonna fucking murder him. It's like that's a bad idea, you know. Like
yeah,
you don't need to do that.
I agree. I agree.
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
it's like if you're gonna follow a killer, like I think you really have to like delve into the psychology of why he's doing what he's doing, you know, and like make like Taxi Driver, for instance, you know, it's like you spend so much time with that guy
Yeah.
that
yeah,
it's like you get his thought process and like, you know,
right.
his motive.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say the Dahmer shit is fucked up. The Menendez brother one, I enjoyed that one. I enjoyed
Yeah.
that one. I will
I hear
say.
that one's a little bit more. I think you might have told me about it, like, where it's like a little more open on like interpretation and stuff like that. Where like
Yeah,
the case isn't just so cut and dry, dark fucking nonsense. It's like, oh, there's probably
100%.
some dynamics here, like family dynamics
What
and power
For
dynamics.
sure, for sure. I like that because it's brought up in the court case after, and it's like really trying to figure out why this shit happened and why these
Yeah,
brothers did this and that kind
it
of
was
stuff.
just with the Dahmer
It's a little
one. It
better
was
than
just
Dahmer.
crazy how it ended because they're like, oh, he found Jesus. And then he was shanked.
Yeah,
Isn't that sad? And I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, but like he still did these things.
he
Like he
people
might have found
guy
Jesus,
like
but where was Jesus? Was he under the sheets?
Yeah.
I'm confused. Was he waiting for him in prison? What?
he was in prison. Yeah,
It's a happy ending because he found
Oh,
Jesus, though, right? That's what
oh,
I
I don't
got
know.
from
That
it
was
then.
yeah.
going to heaven.
Anyway,
Oh,
Okay. Well, to wrap it up for Polytechnique, I'm gonna give it 2 stars. You know, like the filmmaking, like
Mm.
we've said, the cinematography. There's some successful things going on. The intention,
Yeah,
the
to be
idea.
honest, I
right
put
there.
this for 3 too, but I think I'm gonna drop down to 2 again because it still would
same.
get like none of the 3 questions.
Yeah.
there you
There
go.
you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep you honest, Joe. I got
And
2.5. It was a step up from Maelstrom for me.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could
I
see
think like
that.
technically this is Denis like he's getting somewhere now as like a
Yeah.
filmmaker.
Technically, yeah.
Technically.
Mhm.
Right. But
Technically,
other
for
than
sure.
that,
Like, I definitely was feeling like
Mhm.
Sicario, Prisoners. Even after you mentioned that, I'm like, I'm feeling like, oh, he's starting to solidify what his visual style is going to be
Mhm.
now.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So
And
Yeah.
I'm excited for these next ones. I haven't seen 2, but I think I'm kind of confident saying that I believe that this is like the worst movie by him. But that's just my opinion
Yeah.
and
definitely,
my thoughts right now. But maybe it'll change.
I
We'll
haven't
see.
seen
I
the
changed. I haven't
next
seen
one
everything,
I
so
don't know what this next
and
one is.
Enemy. I
Yeah.
think those are the only 2 I haven't seen.
Same.
I
Incendies and
watched
Enemy.
Enemy a
Those are my
while
2.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hear
I liked
Incendies.
Enemy.
This is the one that kind of like put him on the map in a way. So
It
I'm really
looks like
curious
it.
about this one.
Okay.
Academy
Okay,
Award
cool.
nominee.
Decent.
Because
Mhm.
like up until after Incendies, I've like heard of all of the movies.
Right. He really takes off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are we thinking, boys, for the next few Villeneuve podcasts? Are we doing double features again? We want to try to slow it down with him since he has less. I'm down for either option.
I'm gonna go with whatever. I also might not
I'd
be
be
able to do next week.
Okay.
I can't do next week
Okay.
either.
Yeah.
But
Okay. No
All good.
problem.
Yeah. Plan the
I'm
next
down
one.
for another double feature then if we got a little more time and
yeah, let's
then we can go to
do
singles
a
after
double.
that maybe.
Cool.
Yeah,
So,
we could do
yeah.
double feature for the next one, then go back to singles and maybe do some movie chest stuff.
I'm
I'm
down.
down for that.
Yeah.
I'm done movie
Got
chest.
some other ideas too. We can maybe employ about like the.
I want to do your studio idea. I still
Oh
want to do
yeah,
that
yeah, me
Oh,
too. Yeah,
because
I still
that would be a
don't
lot
know.
of fucking fun.
That would, yeah. Maybe we'll do that early 2025 as like a 2025 like studio
Yeah,
projection type
that'd be
thing.
cool.
Like, yeah. I also wanted to try. I missed there's like a league, and I want it to be more of a legit thing. But if we had like a fantasy movie league of some sort, where like you
Alright.
draft at the
Why
beginning
don't
of
we
the
come up
year.
with one?
That's what I'm saying. It's a good idea, I
Be
think.
cool.
But you might.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to find the parameters and we can workshop it or whatever. But like, do you get like a budget? and certain movies are weighted at a certain budget, or do you just get to pick any movies you want and only one person gets them? You know,
Ooh,
and like
and then how do we have to figure out how we would score points? It'd be
right.
awards.
Yeah.
It
Is it
would be
awards? Is
box
it budget
office.
return? Yeah, like yeah, but box office,
Ooh,
right?
that could be fucking fun.
That could be cool.
Something we could do. Yeah, maybe
I'm
get
down
some
for
rules
that.
going or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's start. Let's think about putting something together for that for 2025.
Cool.
That could be cool.
Another thing you'd have to think about though is like there's a schedule for 2025, but
Mhm.
will those movies
Right.
be bumped back?
Right.
You know, like is that something you get punished for if they do? Can you pick
Yeah.
again? That's like another rule or like something we'd have to talk about.
Okay. Yeah.
Hard to, you'd have to anticipate it in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
because
it's like the
I guess
IR, right?
it would probably be
Injury
like
reserve.
punishment
Yeah.
enough that you would have to pick something else because everything's already like picked.
You would have to
right?
have
You
like
get a low
subs
pick.
that you could put in.
A bench.
So like if
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
football player gets injured
Mhm.
in your draft, you can just swap them out maybe.
And it has to be
Right.
like a movie that hasn't come out yet still or something.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, like,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
if
feel
we're
like we'd have
past
to
that
like
point.
Down the
categorize
line.
movies somehow,
Yeah.
like into like groups.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
because then like if
Yeah.
your
Different
movie out of a
slots.
certain
I mean.
group or something was bad, then you could just pick one from the same
Yeah.
group.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we could
That's a good
pick
idea.
like indie, prestige, box office
Yeah.
picks. Like,
Different
you know, we
It's
could,
just-
categories.
I'm not saying
Right.
you have to do that. I guess
No, I'm
that's-
just, like,
I mean,
rolling
but that's how
around.
it works in like fantasy football.
I think that's a
Right,
good idea because then it's like
positions.
you have
you know.
so many stuff on your bench that could fill those categories too.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like that could work.
Well, we'll do
That could
some
be cool.
workshopping on that. It sounds fun.
All right.
Cool. You guys want to talk any other shit before we hop off?
Real
Yeah.
quick, a standout movie I saw, Heretic. I know you saw
Yeah.
it, Matt.
Hey, I do.
Oh, you
That was
liked it?
actually like,
I liked it.
what'd you say, Joe?
I also watched it. I watched it a
Oh,
couple
you
weeks
did?
ago.
Yeah.
It was fucking sweet. I really liked it.
It's surprising.
I kind of didn't actually. I thought I would because I love religious shit, and I look up like
That's
I
yeah.
literally listen to fucking religious courses and shit like in my free
Yeah.
time because I'm just like
Yeah.
really interested in religion. I went to go see with my girlfriend, and both of us were just like for the beginning, I understand like you know it's supposed to be like building suspense because these women are like in danger. But like I
Yeah.
agreed with everything Hugh Grant was saying. So like I'm just like at this point, like I'm not really worried. I'm just like I
See,
want to have a conversation with this dude because I like what he's saying.
Yeah.
But
no,
like
I
and
totally
then I feel like it was just kind of like forced that they made him into a killer. Like so
A
like
little bit.
the first half I really liked. The last half like I felt like it was just kind of like forced. I felt
That's
like
fair.
it was kind of like a half-baked idea in my opinion. But that's just me. I don't know. I did
feel
like
I
the movie, but
yeah, I feel like I understand what you're saying. Like you're kind of on Hugh Grant's side, and you're like definitely logical stuff that he's saying right here. He's just
yeah,
putting down super solid things, but it was so the whole movie itself, like him creating his own religion, and he's like God down to a point
yeah.
to where he's created the board and he's playing the pieces, and this is like his religion. His
I
idea
guess
is
that's
things have to be
true.
based off
I
of a
didn't even really
theory,
catch
and the
that about the
theory
It's
have
all
to
before.
be
about
proved
control.
out, right? So
Mhm.
he's proving out his theory, but there's still some little bit of faith in there because you can't control humans. So like when he met the girls and he was feeling them out and he saw the implant, her birth implant, he was thinking on his toes from that moment on, like, if I have to do this, I'm gonna use this. I
Mhm.
don't know. It just felt like the movie was a lot smarter than I thought it was going to be
That's what I got
for
from it too. It felt
yeah.
like more on top of like a horror movie. I said when me and Alex talked about it, like for a 2024 horror, that feels totally modern and totally like
Yeah.
of its time for me. Especially like the religion of it all, like to have people actually questioning religion in that way. The girls specifically, if like you can kind of tell they're
Yeah.
like running some things through their head, that was pretty relevant for this time for some
Yeah.
people I know. And yeah, I don't really like Hugh Grant a lot, but he fucking killed it. Loved it.
So good.
Yeah.
And honestly, that whole idea of repurposing this same idea, like the Monopoly scene, you mentioned it, Matt. Great scene. Like him telling you, leading into the song sequence of just constantly taking an idea,
Iteration.
reskinning that idea, and selling that idea
Yeah.
over and over again. And
And
that
then
was when I took the world religions class in Olivet. That's when I decided, like, I got to where I'm Hugh Grant, and I'm like, oh shit, So this is basically
The skepticism
Monopoly,
sets in.
Mega Monopoly,
Oh,
fucking Monopoly
I
Millionaire.
guess
I don't
like
know.
the disconnect for
Hmm.
me is that like at the beginning, I don't know, it's just understood that he was just like a theology student for a long
Yeah.
time and like, like learned a lot about like religions and shit.
Mhm.
But I guess I didn't really get that he wanted to control people until like just later in the movie. So I
Yeah.
feel like
Right.
that's why it just felt like it kind of came out of nowhere for me.
Yeah.
Right, I'm
It was, like,
100%. It drags it
ridiculous.
to like a more standard horror climax in a way, I'd say.
But like,
Yeah.
now that you brought up the board and stuff, I didn't even really make that connection.
Yeah.
But that actually is pretty smart.
Smart. Yeah.
That's
It felt super smart, and even at the end, leaving it such open-ended idea kind of went with the whole theme of the movie for me, where it's just like no one is sure, and
Mm.
it's up to you, the audience member, to take what you want from it or leave what you want. You know?
Yeah.
So
Like
Yeah.
that.
Got more than I bargained for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
definitely. I've been chatting these other two guys that I know, my buddies. They also watched it, and I think I have a lot more to say, and I'm probably like driving them crazy with all this stuff I'm saying about it. But like I don't know,
Mhm.
a lot more thought provoking. I was just like, wow, interesting.
Yeah. It subverts
Who would have
like
thought?
for me it's like on top of the horror shit too, like you said. Like it subverts a lot
Yeah.
of expectation in a way. It's one with the setup of like this guy's trapping us because the whole time he's like,
Yeah.
you can go, you can go, you can go.
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, can we go? Like, and then
You can go at the back of our house.
right.
Yeah.
And to me,
You
I
notice I'm on a hill,
expected
so you're going to have to go down.
right. I expected one lead to be kind of like the leading like final
Yeah.
girl, and it kind of like shifts it completely in a way that I was like, oh my fucking wow.
I kind of
Okay.
did too, because I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be like the other girl was going to be like the main
Right.
character.
Yeah.
She basically, well, I guess she did kind of live.
Ooh. Hang on, Noah hasn't seen it yet. All right.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
But
the fuck?
if you are interested, the big picture, Matt, Sean did interview the two guys, the writer directors,
Oh
and
really?
they talked about it. Yeah,
Okay. I'll listen to that.
it's at the end of their, I think it's the Jury Number 2 podcast that he did with.
Oh, okay. I just watched
Yeah.
that too, actually. Nice.
I need to watch that. I'm
Pretty
pretty
good.
excited about that one.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
yeah,
It's
that's
definitely the best
interesting-
thing they've done because if you look at their credits, it's like fucking A Quiet
65?
Place, 65. Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
oh.
Ooh,
They stepped
That's
it
why I
up.
was like, my expectations were so low going into it because I 65
Terrible.
dog, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
dookie. And then so I'm like, okay, they honestly they pulled
Like
it. They pulled
how
it
much
off.
can they elevate
They-
this? Yeah, and they did some work. Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Cool.
all. That was one thing I wanted to share. I
Yeah.
really like that. Great takeaway for 2024 movies.
Definitely.
Hell yeah.
I'll add it to the list.
I did.
Yeah, watching Ozark
Oh,
for the first
nice.
time.
Yeah. How you liking it?
First time? Shit.
I don't know. I liked the first season a lot, and
Mhm.
Yeah,
even
first
the
season's
first
really good.
episode, really well done. And then after that,
It starts to
I
fall
feel
off.
like the quality kind of dipped.
Oof.
Mhm.
Like I don't really. I'm literally on the
agree.
last episode right now of the show,
Yeah.
and
Oof.
I feel like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like there was like an idea for like more of a fleshed out backstory or like character arc or
Yeah.
development for Marty, and that's basically non-existent.
Yeah.
Wendy
No.
kind of got all the character shit, but like even then, it's like not really.
I absolutely agree. They just
That
kicked
good.
Marty to the fucking curb. And
Yeah,
like
like
once the Snells died, or the one Snell died, it was just kind of like, why'd you do that? Like I
Mhm.
get it was like a
Yeah.
wow moment and like cool,
dude,
but like
or
it
oh
went
my
nowhere.
god, they killed Agent Petty-off like it was fucking nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? Like, what? Like, and then I'm like, what the fuck are you doing with this show? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just
They
and
wanted
now I'm in the
they
fourth
wanted to
season,
focus everything on Marty's wife. They just took all the characterization out of every other character when
and
they did
dude,
that.
like
Mm.
for her, I know like it's the point that like she's supposed to be unbearable because like she is so fucking.
Oh, yeah.
I mean I hate her so much,
yeah.
but like, and I know like that's what she's supposed to be like, but it's like she like monologues and like tries to convince people of shit all the time, and it's just like,
Yeah.
dude, maybe it's just because I've been watching her for like 4 seasons, but
Tired of her
everybody at
shit.
this point knows that literally everything that comes out of her mouth is either a lie, a manipulation tactic or both.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, so like, why the fuck would anybody want to talk to her ever? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
I watched
Yeah.
like the first 3 episodes and just never got back to it, but maybe
Oh, you
someday.
didn't.
I don't
think,
know.
I
Wow,
think
I
I
thought
got
you
to
I
the
did.
think
point
I
where
would
the
recommend.
Snells died,
Yeah,
and then I was like, yeah, what the fuck? I'm done.
Yeah.
I was like, I
It
don't
was
see this going anywhere.
like there was so much potential when Marty went and started working for the cartel at the cartel, and I was just like, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
Marty being a badass. And then it's just like, nah, we're just
I
kidding.
love how he's just like really depressed and he's just wearing his button-up shirt and like walking around and stuff, and I don't know, I just feel like it looks weird. It's like
Yeah.
just this like I don't
Just
know,
going to
nerdy
his
white
9 to
guy in this
5.
fucking Mexican cartel fucking like I don't know. Fucking yeah, this mansion. I don't know.
That's a bummer that it
I was
ends pretty bad.
disappointed by it.
I
Yeah.
mean, I wouldn't say it ends bad. I would just say like seasons 2 and 3, it's like all of season 2, they're trying to open this casino so they can launder money. All of
Yeah.
season
Right.
3 is like basically evading the FBI because they got the casino and now they're trying to launder money in the casino. But the FBI is
Yeah.
kind of like on their ass. But it's like the FBI has been on your ass this whole fucking time. You just killed Asa
Yeah.
Petty like it was nothing. Then like
Yeah.
there's his partner who just like disappeared. He's
Yeah.
just written out of the show. I don't even know where the fuck he went. And like
Getting
I don't know.
sloppy then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where's-
It just like
have you finished the episode, the last episode, Joe?
no, I'm like 20 minutes in.
All right. Well, you
I
might have a
just kind
different
of finished it
opinion if
before
it
I
sticks the landing or not by the end of that. So just
okay,
hang
because
tight.
Yeah.
the last half of the season I have been liking, but like I don't know. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
the
The
seasons were just
final.
too long. Like you
Yeah.
should have made it like 8 episodes a season, maybe, and then you
Mm.
should have condensed like season 2 and 3. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
Does
the
drag.
final shot, I was just kind of like, well, that sealed the deal for me. That
Gotcha. Okay.
like everything I enjoyed about the last sequence, this not sequence season, like the few things that I could pick out that I enjoyed about it, it just was kind of just destroyed by the end of it. So
Because like
I'll
I don't know.
ask.
So
It
Let me know what you
reminded
think.
me a lot of
Yeah.
like Breaking
Um,
Bad and Better Call
Oh yeah.
Saul, but like
Yeah.
I just feel like
Oh, yeah.
even like Javi, he was like trying too hard to be Lalo,
Oh, definitely.
and like I don't know, it just
And he
came
is
out of
not
nowhere.
Lalo.
He's introduced
Bateman
in the
just
fourth
starts
season.
cribbing from Breaking Bad more.
I don't know. Yeah, I just felt like
Yeah.
it
It
wasn't.
was like the Aldi version of Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
Dude, when is Vince Gilligan's new show coming out on Apple, man? That's
I
been
don't know,
so
man.
long. I'm waiting.
oh
Maybe
shit.
next year.
Also, I only watched like the first 4 episodes, but like some of them are really short. I started watching this show called Secret Level.
Ooh, I got to get to that one.
It's basically Love, Death, and Robots, but like
Yeah,
with
like
with
video game
like
stuff.
random video games.
saw a
Yeah,
trailer.
and
Yeah.
the first 2 episodes I liked a lot. Like the first 2 episodes were
Hell
really
yeah. Cool.
Sweet.
and then I don't know. The next, I don't know. I'm only 4 episodes in, but I've enjoyed it a lot.
Nice.
I
That's
had
one
to
on my
slow
list.
down and like stop because I think there's only 8 episodes out, but like each episode is pretty short, and I didn't want to just
Right.
like fly through all of them.
Got to savor them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I love Death and Robots, like the format, the different like styles, the
right?
different like voices. So yeah, I'm definitely down for that.
Dude, also I did finish I finished Scavenger's Reign like a couple weeks ago. I liked that a lot too. And
I've heard
like
pretty good stuff. Yeah.
I don't know, it's weird because like it said that like Max canceled it or like didn't it said they canceled it and then
Yeah.
Netflix picked it up, but also they don't plan on making a second season. But like literally besides the very last like scene in the show, like it could have just been a standalone 1 season show. Like you really don't need to continue the show on.
That's good then,
So
because
I don't know. I'm
I
actually
probably
like
won't. So
cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I feel like they could have just ended it and it would have been fine. Like
I'm gonna get around to that one eventually. Definitely on my list.
it was actually really interesting. I mean, it's like kind of fucked up, but like the animation is really good and like the story is actually like pretty fucking cool.
Nice.
So I don't know. I liked it a
Oh, yeah.
lot. But I did, from what it sounded like, I did the exact same thing as you guys and like one other person I talked to, where like I started it, got like 5 minutes in, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this right now. I'll watch it some other time.
Yeah, that's one of those shows for sure.
And I just didn't come back to it for a while.
Yeah, you come back to it. Yeah. What other? I watched A Man on the Inside. It's like Ted Danson on Netflix.
Oh,
Worth a
yeah.
watch. It's Mike Schur's new show, and he did like Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Yeah.
Good Place. So
Oh.
I'm really on board for anything he makes. No, it's worth a watch. Pretty short.
Cool.
I started I'm 2 episodes into the Dune series on HBO, and
Nice.
I like it so far. Pretty cool.
Yeah, like I think I'm up to date. I think there's 4 episodes out or something like that, maybe 3.
Yeah.
But it seems okay. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I thought it was
Right.
good.
I'm like interested to see where it goes. I'm not sure like
Yeah.
where it's gonna end like timeline wise and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
or if there's like a second like Robot Wars type stuff, you know, if that like
I'm
comes to
curious about that
fruition.
too. Or like
Yeah.
something, because I feel like something will.
Something's got to
I don't know.
escalate
Seems
with
like
it.
that family is like trying
Right.
to revive it or whatever, yeah. So
Yeah.
They're doing some secret shit.
but,
Or something.
yeah. I like the
Yeah, I
Bene
don't know.
Gesserit, like trying to give
I'm
it
glad like some of you watched it because like I don't know. I was like talking to one of my friends and like he had heard from like multiple people, but there were only like 2 episodes out at this point, and they said like it was really fucking
Yeah.
bad. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, I don't see that at
Not that
all.
bad.
Like I don't really think there's
Yeah.
anything in this that like is that bad, you know? Like
Right.
It's
I
the
don't know.
hater train, man.
Yeah, the
You
kind
either
of just
hop
like
on or
made me
you get
feel
fucking
bad.
run over.
And like I don't know, for me too, like me personally, over this past year, like watching shows and like with the Acolyte in particular, but like multiple other shows that I've hated on, I think I'm just gonna like hold my final conclusions about a show until at least
Till
the
it's
first
done.
season is done. Like
Right.
Good
I
idea.
don't know, because
That's
like
wise.
I mean, realistically, that's just how it goes with watching a fucking show anyway. I mean, you're really gonna judge an entire season of a show out of like
Right.
the first 2 episodes?
Got to
Like,
see where it's
Yeah.
going.
why
You've
would you
seen the
do that?
beginning of the arc. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do they stick to landing? Gotta
Mhm.
find out.
But yeah,
Well,
that's pretty much all I've been watching recently. I haven't watched much else new.
yeah.
I got Delaney to watch the second season or just the whole of Arcane, and she sent me a Snapchat of her like bawling at the mid second season because some characters shit
Her
happened.
bawling, you said?
Yeah, she was crying because
Yeah.
she was like, "I need 30 minutes to like reassess and come back to the show." I was like,
Damn.
"Good.
I gotta
Glad
catch
it's
up.
doing its
Yeah.
job then."
Still haven't seen
Yeah,
the
I should
second
watch
It's
it.
season.
good, man.
Yeah.
I haven't
It's
even like
good.
seen the first season.
Oh, bro, that's the next animation you should go to. Honestly.
Yeah, I think you'd like it. It's
Oh, yeah.
unique animation, and I think the story is just it's very well fleshed out, characters and all that. I mean, the first season was like 12 years in development, so like
Mhm.
Oh shit.
yeah, it was like they were making sure they did it right. But it's good.
Well,
It's good, and
they're
maybe
putting all
maybe I'm
the
just hyping
money into this TV series, and the game is. I'm just kidding. But
suffering. Yeah. No, yeah. That's good. I'm impressed by it. They're doing more shows too, or more movies possibly in the future, so I'm excited for it.
Nice.
And maybe I'm just on the league hype train, but
Yeah.
I like it.
told you, it's
Cool.
like heroin, man.
I think
Start
I'm
playing
It-
League,
it-
you're
It's
fucked.
bad. It got me on
Mhm.
all levels too. It's like, oh, I feel like I'm playing a little. I feel like playing a little Team Fortress or Team Fight Tactics because it's chill.
Yep.
It's like, oh no, I'll go play
Yeah.
some Aram. I'll go play regular. Like
Yeah.
on all
That-
levels,
That's
it's
what you get.
yeah, it's fucked up. Why do you do this to me, Alex? It's fucked up, man. It's fucked.
Hey, ever since freshman year, the first week of college, ever since then,
That's when
fucking
you were introduced
Oh,
to drugs.
yeah.
That's when it all started.
And then I stopped for a year, and then I relapsed, and haven't stopped since. So
Oh, shit.
Cool.
yeah,
Well, we'll help you through that, man. We'll be your rehab.
it's just the one game I always come back to. It's like my comfort game,
Yeah,
even though it
for
makes
sure.
me mad. But
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that. It's
It's a
It is
beautiful game though,
rage
too.
inducing.
Like some of the best
Yeah.
looking stuff in like a MOBA or most games nowadays, to be honest. But
You guys playing Marvel Rivals?
Sick.
someone tried to get
Hell
me to do
yeah.
that. I don't think so.
I'm not actually. No, I don't
No.
really know what that is.
Why are they
Basically
just
Me neither.
reskinning Overwatch and everything?
Oh,
It's,
okay.
yeah, they took so much from Overwatch. My
It's everything
friends
now.
are playing it and they really
Yeah,
like it. And I'm
Valorant.
like, dude.
It's
The burnout
Overwatch.
for that
It's
game
just
is going to
like,
be so extreme, I think. But
oh
that's just
yeah,
me.
it's like Supervive. Supervive is like a League, Overwatch, Fortnite mash, and it's like this is lame. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's just
We're
annoying
so
because some
devoid
of
of
the
creativity.
people in my circle, like, they shit on Overwatch, but they like Marvel Rivals. And I'm like, dude, this is such an inferior game, but like, I can never
Yeah.
convince them. It's too late. So, but it's fine.
Damn.
But I think I'm gonna hop off, boys. It's been good talking,
Sounds good.
but
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
so not next week, week
Yeah.
after, right? For the next chat.
That's cool. I mean, maybe.
Should
I
work.
think that's the week of Christmas. So, like,
Oh yeah, that is
I
the
guess
week
might
we'll
have to
just
be.
keep it in mind. I don't know. We'll just see, I guess.
2-week hiatus. Come back
Next
Yeah.
year.
Holiday break.
next year.
Yeah.
Come back with
Sure.
our lists, maybe.
Yeah. We'll
Ah,
talk it out.
right.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But thanks for watching, and we'll see you probably in the next year.